Hello, my name is Dr. Rawls. I'm a DNP here at Midvale Medical Center, and I am here to talk about video games with Joanna. Or what do you want to say?
Yes, so what do you think about violent video games?
I think video game companies have the right, and it's okay for them to make any, video games, whatever they may be, violence. I think from a clinical standpoint, it's the role of the parents not only monitor but regulate, what's appropriate for their children. Obviously, children at a young age shouldn't be exposed to any violence. In general, us as a society has become more or less desensitized to violence as a whole. If you notice, our scary movies have become more gory. We're more, violence is more acceptable in our regular TV viewing. So, violent video games, violent TV are a big thing that, parents need to regulate for, their own children. Because that's where the responsibility lies, and that's where the
Dr. David Schoenbaum, I'm a family practice physician at Midvale Medical Center.
Okay, what do you think about violent video games, Dr. Shaw?
It's a tough question because honestly, violence is the question, right? So are we talking about a video game where your goal is to go out and hurt people and steal things? Or are we talking about a video game where your goal is perhaps there's someone after you and you need to escape or you need to defend yourself? I think the difference is, for instance, all right, I'll use an example. Sorry if this is a bad one. Is nudity the same as pornography? Right? So some people would argue that nudity can be tasteful, there's some great works of art, right? Versus something that's disgraceful, something that's disgusting. And so I think that if violence is a proper part of a story, no different than any of the great novels of our day, war stories, etc. I wish there was no violence in our society, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with violence if it's part of a storyline. Violence for violence's sake, I think it's unfortunate, and I recommend against it in video games.
Hello, my name is Anthony Soto. I work here with AMS. I think about violent video games, I think it depends on what kind of violence or genre of violence it is. For example, if you're a soldier in war, it kind of gives the audience what war is about, gangland violence, and I wouldn't say that's too healthy in any way, just for entertainment purposes. And then you have sports violence, kind of gives you an idea of like the fighting world, boxing, MMA, football, things like that. But it depends on the age of the audience and the genre of violence.
Hi, I'm Shelley Strand. I'm an RN. I'm also a nurse practitioner student. I'm an intern here at Midvale Medical Center.
Okay, what do you think about violent video games, Shelley?
I think video games overall are a good thing. Violent video games, depending on what you consider violence, the only thing I don't like about violent video games are if they have blood in them. Otherwise, I don't see any problem with them at all. It's the parents' job to determine what video games they think are appropriate for their child. It's not society in general's or a specific corporation's problem to decide what is okay for some.
Hey, my name is Jennifer Amaya. I'm a medical assistant at Midvale Medical Center. And am I supposed to look right into the place here?
Yeah.
And a little bit about myself, or?
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
Okay. I have 4 kids, and I play video games with them.
So what do you think about violent video games?
I think that as long as you are responsible and mature enough to understand it, then you can. I think it's not something that could be, like, I don't even know how to say it. It's making me nervous. I think they're okay as long as you're mature enough to play it.
Oscar Valle here at Midvale Medical Center. I'm a medical assistant.
So what do you think about violent video games?
They're entertaining.
My name is Andres and I'm a medical assistant here at AMS.
So what do you think about violent video games?
Violent video games. I really don't think much about violent video games. I don't see nothing wrong with violent video games. I mean, I played them ever since I was a little kid. My mom and dad never kept me from violent video games, so I guess I don't think much of them.
Okay. What
I am a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Unity. It is awesome, and of course it is can be considered violent.
I'm playing the latest Tomb Raider game, and I don't even remember which one it is. But basically, you're a young lady who got in a shipwreck, and now she's trying to survive on an island, and there's violence involved, but you're trying to survive. Your goal is not to hurt.
My favorite video game would be Madden, and then I'm really into like role-playing games. So we have Mass Effect, Dragon Age. Whatnot.
Mine is an online game. It's called RuneScape, and I love it. I've been playing it for going on 9 years.
Right now, Skyrim.
Skyrim?
Of course, yeah.
At the moment right now, I'd have to say Assassin's Creed. Violent video game, yeah, Assassin's Creed would probably be the best one right now.
My favorite video games would probably be anything with cars or a lot of guns and action and like gory.
To be honest, for me, it's about almost therapeutic mind numbingness. You know, sometimes, life as a clinician is a lot of stress involved, and I find it actually kind of somewhat therapeutic. Helps with stress relief. There's obviously some excitement and, whatever emotions come with a well-made game. But, it's a big part of letting loose. And I also grew up in a generation where video games were up and coming, so, also has that kind of deep-seated, origin.
Mostly frustration because I get killed and then I have to play the level 20 times because I'm not good enough. Or I don't make it, I don't jump over a cliff and I fall in the ocean, or I can't find food, or a tiger jumps out and bites me. I can't, sometimes I'm scared, because you're like, oh, is someone sneaking up on me? But I can't say that I'm not someone that yells and shouts and gets up or gets angry or anything. If I find a game not to be fun, I quit playing it. It's entertainment, for goodness sakes.
Depends on the video game. But for the most part, it's like I'm kind of carefree, relaxed. Sometimes stressed, like when I'm playing Madden and it's the last 2 minutes in the fourth quarter and I'm down by a field goal, so get like a good 2 minutes of stress. But for the most part, it's just entertaining.
It's very exciting. I actually do get anxious if my character is going to get killed. It makes me scared because I don't want to lose all my armor that I've paid lots of GP for.
All of them. Fear. A lot of fear.
I guess you can call it anything from excitement, sometimes fear, a lot of humor in it sometimes too. It just depends. But mostly you play video games just to relax.
Frustration, anxiousness, excitement, really, that's about it.
Well, obviously, aside from, the therapy of stress relief I enjoy, watching the development of game platforms, game graphics over time. I think, I started off way back when Super Nintendo, and, the game platforms have only become more evolved and, more exciting to play. And, it's been nice to see the technology grow throughout the years. And, of course, get a better gaming experience.
It's no different for me than if I go for a run or if I go to a shooting range. It's no different for me than if I'm scuba diving. You're concentrating on something that has nothing to do with what's going on at work. It's nothing to do with, if your kids are waking up in the middle of the night and you're not getting any sleep. It's just diversion. It's no different than reading a good book or seeing a good movie. You don't think about anything else for a half hour, for an hour. You relax.
Thank you.
Personally, for example, would be like the RPGs. The role-playing games gives you a lot of reading if you have the subtitles on. There's a lot of critical thinking. And now with the current games, they're adding like the moral and ethical decision making, and your decisions actually affect outcomes, whether they're positive or negative. So that's really what I enjoy most, really.
I find it relaxing, and I find that it relieves stress.
Me being like a movie junkie and everything, a lot of times when you watch a movie, it's set in a certain time where you're like watching the movie, and there's just really not much you can do about it. You just watch what happens, what's already scripted. The nice thing about video games is you can kind of go off course and do your own thing. Obviously, it's nice playing different kind of characters, anything from like a mafia to pirate to football player. It just depends, you know.
In the 1950s, lots of people blamed comic books for kids' bad behavior. Music, movies, and television have also been called the devil in their early days. Since games haven't been around that long, it's only natural for politicians and the media to be afraid of this new evil. 50 years from now, it's highly likely people will laugh at today's violent video game controversy.
That actually is.
Video games have never been more popular, yet violent crime in the US and Europe has been in a steep decline since the mid-1990s. Some researchers actually see video games and the internet as a possible reason for the decline. According to them, games are an affordable form of entertainment that keep people inside and away from real crime and drugs. Now that should give crusading politicians and newspapers some food for thought.